Hello, friends! I recently visited some places in Turkey that I'm going to share with you on YouTube. The first one was called the Cave of the Seven Sleepers. It is located in Selçuk, İzmir. There is another place in a different country that some people believe could be the real cave related to this story, but others believe this cave is the authentic one. We reached there by car, but you can also rent a car or take a tour from the main city. There is no entrance fee and there is no one to provide information about it at all. The story of the Seven Sleepers is incredibly exciting and at the same time unbelievable. It is a well-known tale among the Eastern Orthodox, yet almost unknown in the Western world. Still, it is well worth hearing. Feel free to let me know if you have heard it or if you know a different version. Well, this is the version I've heard. The year is AD 250. The pagan emperor Decius or Decius, both pronunciations are correct, is in the middle of a campaign to stamp out the Christian religion. A year ago, he issued an edict decreeing that all Roman citizens must sacrifice to the Roman gods. He knows that the Christians will not obey this, and he knows it is a way of finding out where they are. Many Christians are caught and killed. Emperor Decius travels to the city of Ephesus. There are seven young men there: Maximilian, Martin, John, Iamblichus, Dionysius, Constantine, and Antoninus. These men are all old friends and they are all Christians. In different books, the number of these men and their names may vary. In some stories, it has been mentioned that they had a dog too. These men needed a little time to decide whether or not they were going to worship or maintain their own religion. The seven young men flee to the mountains. They hide in a cave and pray to God, but they have been seen and followed. A group of men is sent to kill the seven Christians. They arrive at the cave, collapse the entrance, and aim to suffocate the seven men inside, making them new soldier martyrs of the Christian Church. Among the group sent to witness this event are two secret Christians, shocked at what they have just seen and in some despair at the loss of these seven good men. They return later in the night to leave a message, a token for anyone who can find this place, that they know who lies buried within. These are two small plaques that they hide amongst the rubble for someone someday to find. On these plaques, they write the names of the seven men inside and what they have done to earn this punishment. Here is where the story starts to get really interesting. Iamblichus is the first to wake up in the cave. As he looks at the cave entrance, he sees that some of the rocks are dislodged and a ray of light is shining into the darkness. As the others begin to wake up and take stock of what has happened, they realize that they need someone to go out and bring in food and water. Iamblichus volunteers to be the one to do it. They clear a small entrance in the cave-in, and he crawls out into the light. He heads straight for Ephesus. He does not even notice the two plaques amongst the rubble. As Iamblichus nears Ephesus, he is struck by how different the city appears to him. He was only here a few days ago, yet something strange has happened. He notices a cross on the gates to the city. That, as a symbol, is very strange to see publicly. As he nears the marketplace, he hears Christians speaking of Christian topics that should be hidden, and things begin to get a bit more revealed as he tries to buy bread from the merchant. He presents his money, and the merchant thinks he is being cheated. Iamblichus is quickly seized by soldiers and arrested for hoarding and trying to use silver that has been out of date for almost 190 years, which means 2 centuries. The emperor Decius is on the back of the coin. But the year is AD 434. Iamblichus is taken before the city's authority, the one who decides minor disputes, and it is the bishop of Ephesus. At this point, Iamblichus is starting to realize what has happened. He has realized that an immense amount of time has gone by. The bishop is a man of God and recognizes when he hears his story that God is doing something here in Ephesus. The bishop and a group of men travel with Iamblichus to the cave where he says they were hiding. There they find the rubble, there they find the two plugs, and there they find the six other men. The conversations that follow are exciting and shocking because this is the 5th century. Christianity is free to live, and the martyrs of that 3rd century are heroes to the modern Ephesians. There are discussions about everything that has transpired since these 7 men fell asleep. At one point, though, there is an awkward moment. A piece of theology comes up from modern Ephesus that the 7 men do not recognize as being true or Christian. There is an issue going on in the Christian world, particularly in Ephesus at this time, that the resurrection of Christ and the future resurrection of humanity might be metaphorical. It might be allegorical, but it's not a real resurrection. And these 7 men are saying, no, no, no, that's never what the early church believed. We believe in a real, true resurrection, and look at us. Here we are, 7 men that Christ has resurrected to show you the truth. Their awakening from sleep wasn't just some strange event. They were here to set theology right. They were here for one last task to instruct their city, and like good soldiers, they finished their mission, gently but profoundly, correcting the error of their brethren. News of these 7 men spread around the Christian world, and in an interesting mirroring of what had happened when they were first locked into the cave, the emperor comes to Ephesus. This time it is Theodosius. He is a professing Christian and he wants to meet these 7 heroes. He has a long discussion with them there in the cave, where they have been staying since they woke up, and he wants to reward them. Wants to give them something. He wants to give them a mansion for them all to live in comfort. And they are not very impressed. They have a good long conversation with him, but they say no to the riches and no to the comfort. We want to remain here where we suffered for Christ and in here where we prayed. They end that day once again in prayer and they go to sleep, and this time they do not wake. They die during the night, completing their martyrdom of almost 2 centuries earlier.